Did you know that over a billion people in more than 193 countries celebrate Earth Day every year? I remember when I was a kid, my teacher would take us outside to pick up trash on Earth Day. And I think I remember one time we all went outside and planted a tree on the playground. So today, I thought I'd bring you some ideas on how you can celebrate Earth Day in your classroom and cover a few of your science standards at the same time. So let's get started. I wonder what your students would say if you asked them how they can help the earth. They've probably never really thought about it that much, but there are probably some kids in your room who've heard of stuff like don't litter, or maybe their family has a recycling bin. So they may know that type of thing. In my classroom, I'd start my Earth Day activities with a KWL chart, and it had three sections. The K stood for what do you know about Earth Day? The W stood for what do you want to know about Earth Day? And the L stood for what did you learn? And so we'd fill out the first section together just to kind of give me an idea of what they already knew about Earth Day. And that would sort of help guide my lessons for the week. And then I'd usually read them a story to kind of introduce them to Earth Day. There's quite a few books on the market, but I think my favorite was called It's Earth Day by Mercer Mayer. If you're familiar with Mercer Mayer and the little critter books, you know that kids love them and they can always really relate to the characters. So in this book, Little Critter is at school and they're learning about Earth Day and they watch a movie. And in the movie, they learn that the Earth is getting hotter. And because of that, the ice at the North Pole is melting. And soon there's going to be no place for the polar bears to live. So Little Critter goes home and he's all concerned and wants to know what he can do to stop the ice from melting. So he and his dad do a little research and they learn that some of the things that we do every day are making the planet heat up. Stuff like driving cars and using electricity and wasting water. So the book goes through and shows Little Critter doing all the things to try to help. He doesn't let the water run when he's brushing his teeth. He collected bottles and newspapers with his buddies and they took them to the recycling center. They planted trees in the park, all sorts of stuff like that. So it's really a great book that kids can relate to and it shows them some of the things that they can do to help the planet. There's lots of other great books about Earth Day too. There's one written by Todd Parr called The Earth Book, and there's another one called The Adventures of a Plastic Bottle by Allison Inches. It shows kids what happens when you recycle a plastic bottle. So I'll put the link in the show note to all of those books and you can take a closer look at them to see if there's one that you might want to read to your class. So one of the things that you can do to help kids understand what they can actually do to help the earth is to teach them the three R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. You can teach them about recycling and that they don't always have to throw things in the trash, which just fills up our landfills, and that some things can be used again. So what I did with my kids, I would bring in a kind of a pile of trash, I guess I'd call it. I'd have stuff like a pop can, a yogurt container, a glass bottle, maybe a banana peel or an apple core, a diaper, candy wrappers, and maybe like some snack bags or something. And then I'd have three boxes that were labeled compost, trash, and recycle. And so we'd sort the stuff into the three boxes, and then we'd talk about why they could or couldn't be recycled or reused. So this is definitely an activity that kids can relate to, and they can see how easy it would be for them to recycle, which would ultimately help the earth. You could also set up a recycling station in your classroom where kids could throw papers and stuff like that in to be recycled. So you can actually have this be an ongoing project in your classroom. Another thing you could do would be to organize a school-wide cleanup where you could pair up with older kids and walk around the school grounds outside and pick up trash. Another activity that I did in my classroom was to show the kids how the ice is melting in the Arctic. We actually watched a little YouTube video about how global warming is affecting our wildlife. I think it was about 10 minutes long, and it showed how the ice is melting and how this is affecting animals like penguins and polar bears. So after we watched the video, then we did an experiment, and I mixed some baking soda with water and I spread it out in a big tray. It actually looks a lot like ice when you do that, and I could like mold it into little icebergs. And then I had a little toy polar bear and I put it on the ice to show the kids that that's where it lives. And then I had a small squirt bottle and I filled it with water and citric acid. And I added some blue food coloring to make it look like, the ocean. And then for the experiment, I squirted it all around on the ice and it actually made that melt. And so it showed how the ice is melting and that soon there's not going to be any place for the polar bears to live. So after we did the experiment, we made a big anchor chart called How Can We Save the Polar Bears? And then we brainstormed different ways that we can reduce our use of electricity, which is causing the earth to warm up. So we wrote stuff like turn off the TV and the lights when you leave the room, ride your bike or walk instead of driving a car, open the windows instead of using the air conditioner, plant trees, and just things like that. That's what we wrote on the anchor chart. It was a really good way to show kids how they can help save the planet just by doing these little things. We played a little game that I made called Save the Earth. And basically, the kids collected cards as they moved around the game board that showed how to recycle, reuse, or reduce the energy that we're using. Another fun thing that you can have kids do is plant some flowers in little pots. They can plant their own flower and then take care of it by watering it, keeping it someplace warm and sunny. You could create a little green corner, with these plants to improve the air quality in your classroom. A great school-wide event is to plant a tree on the school grounds. That would be a great activity for like your school booster club or something. They could sponsor that every year. Another really simple activity that we used to do was to make an earth craft, and we used recycled magazines. I'd give each kid a magazine, and they would tear out different pages that had a lot of blue or green on it, and they'd tear them into little pieces. And then I'd have the kids work in groups, and I'd give them a big round construction paper circle, and they would glue the blue and green magazine paper to the circle to make it look like the earth. They actually turned out pretty cute. And then finally, we always did some kind of writing activity. I had the kids make a little flip book that would show what they had learned. So it had 3 sections that were labeled reduce, reuse, and recycle, and they had to draw and write what they learned about each of those and how they could help the planet Earth. So all of these activities are in my Earth Day unit, which is on TPT, and you can take a closer look at that at firstyland.com/Earth Day, or I'll put the link in the show notes. So there you have it, a few ideas of easy activities that you can do with your class to celebrate Earth Day and just bring awareness to the importance of taking care of our planet. If you enjoyed this episode, I really hope that you'll take a minute to leave a review. It would really mean the world to me. All right, friends, until next week, remember to make learning feel like play, and I'll talk to you soon.